Hi, and welcome back to the Monsters Within series. Today, we are going to look at the bold, unapologetic, fiercely independent Enneagram 8. Even these strong people can be haunted by a little monster that we call lust for intensity. If you're an 8 or you know someone who is, this episode is for you. Let's dive in. This is 9 in 9 Enneagram Wisdom for Life. Let's dive in. Enneagram 8s are awesome. They are strong, decisive, they are fiercely protective of the people and things that they love, and they have a natural talent for leadership, problem solving, and really speaking up and standing up for justice for themselves, for other people. The energy that an Enneagram 8 brings is very unapologetic, is very grounded and strong. They know what they want. They aren't afraid to go and get it. And they don't apologize for being in the space that they're in. Now, eights are also deeply loyal. And, when it comes to the things that they care about, they are willing to just confront challenges head on. Now, this same drive is also where the monster comes in. And this monster is called lust for intensity. Now, this is going to push them to want to push for things to just be more intense, more faster, bigger, bolder. Even sometimes they need like extreme experiences to feel truly alive and in their power. I want to take a minute and kind of define lust for intensity a little bit deeper here. So, lust for intensity is going to encourage the Enneagram 8 to definitely to challenge their limits, to assert their strength, and to take something, anything that they care about or love or are interested in, and maybe take it to like an excessive place or an excessive level, meaning just a little bit too much. Now we hear lust for intensity, and immediately the mind goes to lust, meaning like for things around sex. And it, of course, it could be around that. It could be around material possessions, but it's also this lust for challenge, this lust for power, this lust for control, for physical accomplishments, for breaking rules and doing things against the grain of whatever is normal. I love that Beatrice Chestnut says that the lust for intensity is a passion for intensity and the right to be excessive. That's, in a word, what lust for intensity says to the Enneagram 8. Now, ironically, this pursuit can lead to extremes that exhaust and actually isolate and overextend the 8. And so, even though they feel unstoppable, maybe in the moment, this will actually stop them from getting what they want in the long run. Lust for intensity is the hunger for stimulation and fulfillment in all forms. It's the drive to exert strength, pursue their desires, and test the limits. Now, it can fuel tremendous achievement and success and boldness, but it can also push the 8 into extremes, like physically, emotionally, or socially. And, that leaves them feeling drained or disconnected from the softer side of who they are. This monster wants the 8 to constantly seek challenge, power, satisfaction of desire. Now, often without pausing to notice what is going on around them, the impact they're having on the other people in the room, or even what truly matters maybe beneath the surface of this pursuit. So imagine an Enneagram 8 at work. They thrive on competition and on taking charge. And so they're maybe thinking to themselves, I need to push a little harder. I need to have control of the situation. Maybe they take on too many responsibilities, or maybe they start to challenge their colleagues when they don't necessarily need to, or they can tend to like dominate discussion. And it's not that they want to hurt anybody's feelings, but it's just because they have this intensity to feel alive, and challenge will do that for the Enneagram 8. I mean, that's why they're called the challengers. They just like to challenge things. It's fun for them. Or maybe imagine an Enneagram 8 pursuing like a physical goal. a sport of some kind or a material goal. And this is going to cause them to put all of the work in, to put really long hours in, maybe to even push past their limits at the gym or with a workout, maybe sacrificing sleep or health in a pursuit of this extreme goal. In a relationship, the lust for intensity can make the eight very resistant to the soft side of vulnerability. Maybe the eight is craving connection, but they want to avoid ever being soft enough to be vulnerable. So they might find themselves pushing people away without even wanting to. Okay, so here's 3 things that the Enneagram 8 can do to help face this monster, drag it into the light so that they can have true power and control over themselves. And the first is just to be aware. You guys hear me say this all the time on the podcast. This ability to have non-judgmental observation of yourself is so key. You have to notice when you are wanting to go against. The need to go against is a lust for intensity. And when you find yourself wanting to challenge others or pushing to an extreme, you just have to know that you need to be able to stop in that moment and know that this little monster is starting to creep in. Number 2 is practicing vulnerability. This is not just vulnerability in conversation or in talking maybe about your deeper feelings or emotions, but it's the vulnerability of having to rely on other people, the vulnerability of acknowledging that you need care just as much as everybody else does, and the vulnerability to recognize that you deserve love and softness. That's really hard for innate, but it's extremely important. Vulnerability is a brave act. With that, the third thing to do is to access your strength to be vulnerable. Use courage and power that you already possess so deeply as an Enneagram 8, and then use that to lean into the vulnerability and the closeness and the connection that you crave. Strength makes vulnerability safe and empowering and not threatening. So the treasure on the other side of this lust for intensity is the virtue of the number, and that virtue is known as innocence. Innocence is the ability to approach life with openness and freshness, without judgment, expectation, or memory. It is embracing your need for protection and care. It is having the courage to be vulnerable and soft and to be receptive of other people pouring into you and wanting to love you. By connecting to innocence, eights can experience a really full, and I dare use the word intense form of love, because it's such an irony. Like the softer the eight is, the better and the deeper their experience of love will be. Now, if you'd like a cheat sheet of all the Enneagram monsters, the passions of each number, and also the virtues, I have a free PDF, and you can get that in the show notes. Eights, it is time to chase your monster out of the shadows, lean into vulnerability, and connect with the love and care that you deserve. So remember that strength and softness can coexist, and your power grows when you allow yourself to receive from others. Thanks for listening to this series, The Monsters Within. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this episode with an Enneagram 8 in your life. We all need a little encouragement to face our monsters.